we actually coming together as a family, and we are talking about mental health, and we're talking about issues that impact us directly as a family unit, and what direction this family unit is going in. You know, social engineering is like where, you know, you stack 3,000 people in a building and call it a project. You know, put them in a food desert, no nutrition, no, you know, no.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. I had to. So now, we are making progress as a people because we have the right to vote, because we are integrated now. You know, so that means that we are making progress as a people. You agree with that?
I can agree with that statement. I look at it as white folks have made progress in that case. That's how I look at it. I mean, yeah, white folks have learned how to get along with us better over this whole time. That's what this whole thing is. Like, all of this long drawn out stuff that's going on, and all this, man, all of this is white folks having to let go of their fear. That's what this all is. The racism equals fear.
Right.
We for whatever reason, they got this complex based out of slavery, which is a guilt complex.
Mm-hmm.
They're nervous and scared that black folks are going to some kind of way come against them and revolt and murder and kill and maim them, because that's the story that they've been fed. They've been brainwashed too.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They've been brainwashed too.
Yeah.
So, you know, all it is, man, is this, like I said, all a part of social engineering. This is a part of the construct of the social engineering, you know, like.
So, but I'm just saying, black people will argue you down that we have come along, you know.
I'm gonna say this. I mean, to say that means that you have not really done any thorough research to think that riding on the front of the bus is better than owning your own land and knowing how to crop and tend to your own land. If you think riding on the bus is better than tending to your own land, then we need to check our thinking, you know? You know, I would rather still have the land, you know, period, point blank. So
the issue is not necessarily black people making progress with ourselves. They're talking about black people making progress with our relationship with white people. They're talking about black people, because when we talk about black people, and this is where I am, if we're talking about black people making progress, that's just like me talking about, okay, if I'm making progress, my progress has nothing to do with my relationship with somebody else. All, you know, my progress is how I am making it, you know, any one of you are making it, you know, how you're doing for yourselves, your families. Not your relationship with somebody else is a different conversation. So if we're talking about black people making progress, to me, that means black people are owning their own. They are in a place where they're truly free or independent. getting to the place of sovereignty. Like the Native Americans, they have their own courts. You know, I'm talking about going that way. If you want to talk about progress. So like you said, and I agree, that conversation is really white people's conversation when you talk about progress, because they were the ones with the problem of, you know, race, you know, all the stuff they were doing to us. So they're making progress. That's not all of black people's conversation. Black people, we have a totally different conversation. When we talk about progress, it's a different conversation. But this culture has groomed us to be right along with them. And we're just now starting to break away and starting to kind of see, okay, wait a minute, we got a different, our goals has a lot to do with our history. The way we see ourselves has everything to do with our histories, and we have different histories here in this country. That's going to mean we have different purposes. There's no way around it. Our children, and this is real, our children, black children, have a different destination, have a different job than white children. White children have a job to basically be conservative and keep things for as much as possible the way they are. Black children have a different job. They have a job to make things better for them and their children.
The major focus of white education is to maintain the advantage that they already have. Black people not having advantages do not need to get the same education, because you're not being educated for the same reason. You're being educated to remove that advantage. You're being educated to feed your starving children. You're being educated to benefit from the wealth that is being stolen from the lands of your ancestors. You're being educated to benefit from the wealth that you create here as a people. That means that our children must be reared to undertake their destiny and to undertake the tasks that lie before them. The problems that black children have to solve are not those that white children have to solve. Education is defined in terms of the problems people must solve. When you go to white schools, you are learning to solve white folks' problems. That's why you can work better for them and solve their problems better than you can your own. That's why, despite the fact that you may have an MBA degree or business administration degree, you own virtually no businesses and you administer nothing belonging to yourself, and you have no control over anything economically. In fact, the more degrees you've gotten, the more other people have taken your businesses from you in your neighborhoods. Which means you're being educated for servitude. So the highest educated black is in the same position as the lowest one, and that is they're being educated or not educated in service to white power. Intelligence, we are not even intelligent. Black people are made stupid by the education that they get. And the more education we get, the more stupid we become. Yes, I know this is harsh words, but we have to deal with the reality. We are literally educated into dumbness. We call being intelligent high scores on the SAT, high grades at Harvard and Yale, how much we created for IBM, and how much we created for AT&T. Ladies and gentlemen, it has nothing to do with intelligence at all. You let other people define intelligence for you in such a way that it also means maintaining them in power. The ultimate value of intelligence, the ultimate point of intelligence, is to solve one's own problems and to secure one's own survival. God put intelligence in you so that you could adapt to the environment you live in, or adapt the environment to you to further your own life and your own being. I don't care how much you know, how much you've learned, how deeply you've been educated by other people. If you cannot solve your own economic problems, if you cannot solve your own military problems, if you cannot secure your own survival, which should be the point of education, then you have been made dumb and stupid and ignorant by that education.
And that goes against the grain of what, what it is now. So it's because the history in this country makes it so complicated. So yeah, it's different whether we like it or not, all that don't matter. The point, we really do have different paths. And I keep saying there is no simple solution. There's no, solution that's just going to be some kumbaya. It's just not there. It's just not there. I mean, what got us in this situation wasn't no kumbaya. It's, yeah. So just dwindling that down to our conversation concerning mental health, and even in this family, it's all relative. But when we're talking about, we have to keep everything, the bigger picture in mind, because nothing happens outside of that picture. Everything that we're talking about in our family happens inside of what Pep was just talking about. Everything that happened in our family happened inside of what what we're talking about. So this is, while we're talking about this stuff, just understand the bigger picture and the history behind it. And that'll give us a little more focus on some of the solutions that we might be leaning towards. Was you gonna say something, Aunt?
He's talking to you, Auntie.
Aunt Jay? I've never known her not to speak. I don't know if she.
Aunt Jenna, can you hear us?
It's real. For some reason, it's freezing up on me and stuff. So I'm missing stuff. So I don't know. And it's got to be on my end because everybody else seems like they fine. So I miss.
Just talking about, I don't know.
Robbie had asked if you were about to say something. I guess you would look like
you look like you was about to say something a little earlier.
I was gonna talk. I was gonna ad lib on the progress aspect. And what Pepper was saying about the progress being on their end, on the white people. Basically, what I hear is the acceptance, the progress of the acceptance part on their part, because that's been the resistance, is keeping the Black people or colored people in their place. That was the language, stay in your place, So the acceptance part in relation to them making progress in that area. For us as a people, to me, I still want to be able to use the word progress on our end, because we have to do some acceptance as well, in respect to the fact that we have to accept the fact that if things are going to change, it's up to us. Okay? So that's a progress part. We have to make some progress in that part of accepting. We can't wait for them to change things for us. We have to take some initiative to, like what you're saying, the things that you say that, we need to have in place, amongst our, community, or amongst our, units, or, however, I can't remember the word you use, but that's the progress that I feel like we're in, is how we progress in that. So that's what I want.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't, I agree with you, Aunt. that's the things that we have to do. And I think that for too long, the majority of Black people have been waiting for them to do things like that. And I always say, until we do it, we will never be satisfied. We're going to always be complaining, right? Because nobody can do for your child what you can do for your child. It's just never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. So when we, when we go ahead and do it, whatever it is, whatever, it don't have to be nothing big, but whatever needs to be done that we can do, we just do it, meet the need. We see a need and meet it. We see a need and just, see a need and just meet it. Just try to do what you can do. The whole thing about voting, people say, well, just vote, just vote. I still say you still shucking responsibility. You dumping it on somebody else. I'm still saying that. You can vote, whatever, but as far as for our people, we need to do that. We need to just knuckle up and just do it.
So what do you think about what the Black Panthers did in their, movement and in their community?
You said Black Panthers?
Yeah.
Much respect. Respect. I got much respect for Huey Newton and Bobby Seale.
Yeah.
Oh man, they saw a need and they gave Black people. They're the reason that a lot of Black people started wearing afros, and it was them, man. Much respect. They was feeding kids. They started opening on school. Much respect. People talk about Huey Newton, how his life ended or whatever. That brother put work in, man. I mean, I much respect to him. They did something I really hadn't seen done the way they did it. Huey Newton knew the laws. He knew what he was doing. That boy went and got his PhD, man.
Right.
Him, man.
Right.
He did it.
I know I was really excited to hear Rashayla talk about when she first learned about him at school, and her comeback and her, man, it was just so cool. That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so inspirational. That was just good it was just good to, and see the image that has been portrayed of the Black Panthers is just militant, just some crazy people out there with guns. But when you do the research and you see the reason why they was doing it and how they was doing it, and it ain't nothing but respect, man. I mean, that's what we need right there. That's it. That mind right there, just to see a need. I don't care what it is. I mean, these dudes was checking the police. They was checking the I'm talking about carrying their guns. When they see somebody, they would patrol the neighborhood. When they see somebody pulled over, they would stop, get their guns out, be standing right there, making sure y'all ain't finna crack no heads around here, not on my watch. And the police couldn't do nothing, man. They didn't do no protesting.
Right.
I ain't got nothing but respect for the Black Panthers, man. I don't care what nobody say. The reason they were doing what they were doing, I ain't got nothing but respect. Nothing but respect. And I messed up and let something like that happen and let other people see it. And then you got the Deacons for Defense. You got other people, across the country who's kind of doing something. They can't do it like that because they changed some laws to where you can't just stand out, in front of the police with your shotgun no more. you know, but they created them laws for white people. They didn't think that black people would know to do that. You know, that was just, it came through the back door, Pep. Yeah, it came through the back door on that one.
Would you consider them actually creating a model like to work from in relation to building something, you know? And then I wanted to hear Rochelle. I felt like she was trying to get in on that conversation, but she never did get in. Am I correct, Rochelle? Did she leave? What's she doing?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. It was, y'all said it.
Oh, we said, okay, it was.